Hey, how about it, guys? How girls? How you doing this evening? You know, last Monday we had here on Jimmy Houston Outdoors YouTube and Jimmy Houston Outdoors Facebook a day in a deer stand with Jimmy. And actually, we're going to have a couple of days in the deer stand with Jimmy. We're going to have the second day tonight, right now. We're getting ready to do that right now. And you know how much I love the outdoors. You know how much I just love being out in the outdoors. And those days were I'm talking full days, all day long. It wasn't just going out there and spend a couple hours in the morning, a couple hours in the evening. I was going out there spending all day long in those deer stands. And I got to tell you, one of the things that I was doing in that is writing on our devotional book. And we've got that devotional book very, very close to being done. I think I'm at 350 something right now. I don't know exactly, 360, 354, 55. And I've got to have probably about 370, maybe about 5 extra days written, because some of them they will just probably reject. It won't count. But we're going to have the second day out there deer hunting in the stand this evening. And I tell you what, we haven't got a deer yet. We may or may not get a deer. You're going to have to watch to find out. But we've seen some really nice bucks and a lot of bucks. And I've shown you really one of the key things is how well you can manage deer just like we manage fish. Now, one of the great tools we have in managing fish is called catch and release. In other words, we catch fish when they're small, 2, 3, 4, 5 pounds, and we give them a little sugar and we turn them back and they get bigger and bigger and bigger. So a 2-pounder becomes a 3-pounder, and a 4-pounder and a 5-pounder. A 5-pounder becomes a 6 and 7 and 8 and 9-pounder. And we catch and release. Now, we can't really do that with deer if we kill them. And so we only really hunt the really, really big bucks, and we only harvest the big bucks. We love deer meat. But we just try, and by doing this, of course, we have a lot of deer too. Not only do you have get some really big bucks, and you can watch some bucks get to be 4, 5, or 6 years old, and they just get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But you also have a lot of deer, and you're able to see a lot of bucks. You know, in Oklahoma, I saw a deal here a few years ago that 94% of all of the deer killed, the bucks killed in Oklahoma, were 18 months old. That means that was their first set of horns, their first little bitty horns that they had up there. Maybe a little old spike is all. And so those deer did not have the opportunity to get to be big giant bucks like everybody likes. And then plus the fact that means that a lot of time people go hunting, they hunt the whole deer season and might not even see a buck, not one single buck. But if you manage your deer herd right, it can be done. And it's a lot better now in Oklahoma. A lot of people are not killing deer until they get 3, 4, 5 years old. Now that means you won't always be able to harvest a buck every single year. You won't be able to do that. But what it does mean is that you will see a lot more deer. You'll have a lot more enjoyment in the outdoors. And last week, if y'all watched last Monday's part 1 of this couple days in the deer stand with Jimmy, if you watch that, you'll see that we had a ball. We saw lots of animals, deer, turkey. We just saw a lot of animals, had a lot of fun. And I believe that we're going to have a lot of fun in this second day in the deer stand too, because you never know what might happen. So here we go, a day in the deer stand with Jimmy.
Here is the view that we're looking at from this stand. It's a great view. That's at the main window, the front window. Come over here and we look out of this side of the window. That's what we're looking at, into the woods. Back behind, that window's pretty dirty. Into the sun. Got me a light switch inside here I can turn on. We use that basically when we leave at night to make sure we got everything out of the stand. View out of that window there. I've still got that window shut because it's cold. I mean, it's probably still below 30 degrees. Just wanted to let you take a look at what kind of view we are out of this stand. We call this stand Miss Piggy because this area here is Piggy. You can see a ladder stand right over there. That we use for bow hunting. Obviously now this is a great bow hunting stand here. We probably won't be using that ladder stand much anymore. Doesn't get any better. Shut up, Jimmy. Okay, guys and girls, there is the stand way over there on the other side of the dam. This is the dam on Canyon Lake. That's what we're going to be looking down in there, is that bottom right there. It's a beautiful bottom. Probably. Whoa. Coots. Pouldares. Those are coots right there. I think they eat them in Louisiana. They eat everything. But that is Canyon Lake. It's really, really low. Hoping to build me a concrete boat ramp on this lake while it's down low like this. But like I said, I probably should not be talking because there's could be deer around close. That Texas hunter stand right there and spend 2 or 3 hours here in the middle of the day. It's just about noontime, so we'll stay here till 2 o'clock. And we are at our third location. We call this area Ivy League. I've been up in here in about 2 minutes and already have seen deer. This is an area that is a high traffic area. It's already produced a couple of bucks this year and seen several. I've hunted out of this stand a couple of times and I've seen quite a few. There's a couple more deer coming out. We've got a huge wheat field at the backside of me. This is on the edge of a big pecan grove, and the wheat field did fair. It's got pretty nice wheat and rye growing up in there, a little bit of clover. That didn't make too good. We just put the seed down, several pallets of it, and it just did not rain, and that seed stayed in the ground too long. But we should have some deer up pretty close. I don't know what that guy is right there coming in. That's just a doe. They were hearing me talking. Shut up, Jimmy.
Hey, was that cool or was that cool? Lots of fun out there. 2 complete days in a deer stand. Actually, used all 3 stands, big Texas hunter stands. We've got 3 of those on the ranch, and I actually hunted out of all 3 of them. And we got kind of a different perspective at different places around the ranch. My favorite is there at the Canyon Dam, where I can look at that water and look at that lake. I love looking at water. I love looking at water. And I hope they have lots and lots of water in heaven. And I believe they will. I know they'll have streets paved with gold, but I hope they have a lot of water. But that's my favorite. And but all of the stands have different ways about them. One of them's down in the woods, pretty deep, and the other one is in some big fields, what we call the elk fields, and it just gives you a different perspective and everything. So we spend time in all 3 stands. We practice really 100% catch and release. Not necessarily intended that way, but there was just not one quite big enough. There was some that was close, but we had a lot of fun. And that's how you can have a great time in the outdoors. I'm talking a great time in the outdoors, not even worrying about harvesting a buck. Just having a great time out there. Just you and the animals and the good Lord. Wow, what a day. Guys and girls, have you a good one out there? Take care. Remember, I love you.